Hey there, all you sim friends. This is Darth Femme coming back with another speed build. If you are new to my channel, I do speed builds, stop motion videos, and some other Sims 4 related content. So if that's your jam, please subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. So welcome back, guys. I feel like it's been a while since I talked normal. In my last video, at the end, I did the little advertisement for the wellness center, and then the video before that, I did my Carol Baskin house. So if you're a Tiger King fan or thought that it was completely bizarre and strange, please go check that out, because I try to the best of my ability to do a Carol Baskin voice and build. It's really interesting, and it was a lot of fun, and I was cracking up literally the entire time. I think you could even hear me laugh in the video. So yeah, before I get to talking about my build here, I just quickly wanted to touch base and just give a heads up as to where I think my channel might go. I have really been kind of battling with myself if I want to do speed builds anymore. I feel like they don't get as much love as my stop motion, and rightly so. I mean, stop motions are awesome. They look really cool. They're fun to watch. And sometimes my speed builds could be a little lengthy, between 15 and 30 minutes, and it's a long time. I get it, to sit here and listen to me babble on, and I lose people about 5 seconds in. So, personally for me, I find doing speed builds is really difficult because I'm such a slow builder and really OCD, and it takes me a lot of time. I gotta stop the video, think about things, and then restart it. It's like, sometimes I just want to have to do the build without worrying about that, and that's why I really like the stop motion, because I just focus on the build and build it, and then I go back and film it. So I don't know, I'm really up in the air on what I want to do with that, and the response is a lot better with my stop motion videos too. So I hope my followers respond more or comment more about what they want to see and what they like. I've gotten a couple comments here and there, but I really would love if someone would say something, oh, I prefer this or I prefer that. And one or two people have, and I really appreciate it. The feedback is what I need. I need to know if I'm doing something right or wrong, because I want to keep my followers, and it's important I deliver something that people are going to enjoy. So please don't be afraid to comment on my stuff and just give me a heads up. I won't take any offense to it. I'm totally down for the constructive criticism for sure. Just be nice, please. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm not ever going to stop doing stop motion builds. I have a love-hate relationship with stop motion. As long and tedious and time-consuming as they are, the end result, I think, is so worth it. When I see it all put together, I'm just like, wow, okay, I did this. That's really cool. So I will not stop doing those. And I'll probably do the occasional challenge, because I really like talking to everyone, even though not many people are responsive about it or really care about me and what I have to say. I think it's important to get to know the person that you're subscribed to. So I don't know. I haven't decided what I want to do, but if you are listening to this and you made it this far, about 4 minutes into this video, which I think people aren't even making it in this far to my videos, please don't hesitate to leave a comment. Just say hi or tell me about yourself. I don't really care. Just say something. I made it to 218 followers this week, and I'm so amazed and astounded by that, because when I first started this, I didn't even think I would get 5 subscribers, and I'm like, oh my god, 218. Yeah, it's not a lot, but it's a lot to me. So thank you to everyone who subscribed. But yeah, just drop me a comment, say something, let me know you're here, please, because I'm are people even seeing this? I'm not sure. But yeah, so that's my feelings. That's what I'm vibing with right now, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, let me just touch base on this build really quick. before I talk about other things. I've been wanting to do a Southwestern home for a really long time. I was kind of looking around on Pinterest for some inspiration and ideas, and I saw a model of a house on Pinterest that looked pretty similar to this, with like the retaining walls and the kind of the layout. Mine's a little bigger and a little bit different, but I kind of tried to keep it generally the same because I loved the architecture of this model. I thought it was so cool, and that's why I kept it really similar, because I was just like, I have to build this. This house looks awesome. And I wanted to turn it into a Southwestern home because that's the vibes that it was giving me. And there really isn't a lot of like Southwestern stuff in The Sims, so I tried to make do with what I had. I used a lot of island living and jungle adventure stuff. I tried not to make it look too like Spanish inspired, because I really wanted to keep it the Southwestern vibe, but I feel like Southwestern interior design or architecture, it has a lot of Spanish influence in it, besides like Native American and island, I think, inspiration. But I have like a huge obsession with the Southwest. I've been to Arizona and Nevada a bunch of times. I went to Utah last year. I love it. I love everything about the style homes. And even though I'm not a huge fan of modern, they can be really warm inside. And I love the feeling of it. And it just looks so pretty. So I tried to do it less modern on the inside and more kind of like warm browns and oranges, and yeah, you'll see once we get into the inside. But yeah, so the model home had the retaining walls in the picture, and when I started to build this at first, I was like, it looks weird with just the retaining walls and nothing around it. So you'll see I actually moved the house to another lot, a bigger lot, so I could add the rocks and mountains or whatever they are, rocks behind the house. So there was more of a purpose to the retaining walls. And I think it looked a lot cooler, kind of nestled inside this little canyon. And overall, I'm pretty pleased with the vibes of this house. I think it came out kind of like what I had pictured in my head as far as like the interior design. And yeah, so before I talk more about that, I just want to kind of talk a little bit more about myself and my page and what's been going on, because I feel like as this video is rolling and I'm watching it, I kind of like forget what I even wanted to say, and I go completely blank, and I'm like, and I don't remember what I want to say. So I'm just kind of gonna go like off on a tangent and see where that takes me, as instead of just like sitting here and focusing on the build and then like not knowing what to talk about. But yeah, so basically my life has, even though I've been in quarantine because I'm in New York and I'm stuck inside and I'm not really doing much, my life has kind of been a little hectic the last 3 weeks. I think it's been 3 weeks. Honestly, I lost track of time at this point. But yeah, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I can't remember, it was end of April, my dog, Sadie, she was 9 years old. She suddenly passed away. And if you watched my other videos, you'll see that I mentioned it, and I completely lost inspiration for a while. I didn't get on my computer to play The Sims for a couple weeks. I needed some time to kind of like veg and heal. And it was a pretty traumatizing experience, to be quite honest. The night before, she was acting like her normal self. She's been pretty healthy. The beginning of her life, she actually had meningitis, so she had some problems when she was younger. We had to pay a lot of money to get her back to normal health, but she ended up pulling through, and we had her for a lot longer than I think we originally thought. But then, she's been good, and we didn't think anything of it, and she's been acting okay. And so it was a Monday morning. She woke up, and me and my mom found her not being able to breathe, and we rushed her to the vet. And because of COVID, you're not allowed to go inside the vet, so we had to sit in the parking lot as my dog was on the inside of the vet. And we had to be on the phone with the veterinarian, and as she was talking about what was happening with Sadie, and they asked, do you want us to revive her because she stopped breathing? And this was like, I was in shock because she literally then was fine the night before. And so I was like, yes, please, revive her, because I didn't know what was happening. So they brought her back, and then the doctor said, this is not good. It's something serious. I think you're going to have to think about putting her to sleep. I was just like completely blindsided. And at that point, after being on the phone with the doctor for another 5 to 10 minutes, she stopped breathing again, and her lungs were filling up with blood. And at that point, I just told them not to revive her and let her go. So this was very traumatizing because, I wasn't with her as she passed, and not to be morbid, they rolled her out, and we only could see her behind a glass wall of her after she passed. And I know this is very depressing, and who really wants to hear this, but if you're a pet lover, or you've ever had to put an animal down or had seen an animal pass, you know how difficult it is. And I just want to be real. So I'm a real person. I play The Sims, but I go through real life things too. And so it just so happened that Sadie had a tumor on her heart, and it was rapidly growing. Mostly you can never find these things out before it's too late. It happens very fast, and it burst and it filled her lungs up, and there was basically no saving her. And even if we did find out about it a month or two prior, we could have put her on chemo, but she would have had no quality of life being on chemo, and it would have only extended her life maybe a couple of months at best. It's a really aggressive tumor. Apparently it's really common in dogs. We didn't know about it. And it's hard to talk about. I feel like I'm going to break down and cry. But it was a really hard time for me and my mom. And we have another dog here at home. And it's been really quiet and lonely in the house. Even though we have 3 cats and a dog, it just hasn't been the same since Sadie passed. So I kind of wanted to take this situation and make it a more positive one. So I ended up raising money for my favorite rescue group. It's called the New York Bully Crew. If you're in New York, or you're interested in pit bulls or even other dogs they have, go check them out. They're on Instagram and Facebook. I'm a big supporter of them. I love what they do. And so in order to raise the money, I wanted to kind of give people an incentive. So if people donated and I got to my goal of $500, I would shave my head completely on Instagram Live. So I raised the $500 in like a matter of like 2 or 3 days. People really wanted to see me bald. So yeah, on Instagram Live, I sat there and shaved my head. So I had a buzz cut. My hair was very short. You could see my bald head basically. I was almost bald. And I shaved off a lot of hair. My hair was, originally, about 3 or 4 months ago, I chopped about 10 inches off and I donated it. And then since then, it's been about to like the middle of my neck. So yeah, I shaved off a considerable amount of hair. I have to say, I was surprised by what I looked like afterwards, because I was expecting something really horrifying and horrible. And I was worried about what I would find underneath my hair. Like, what kind of head shape would I have? How would I look with a shaved head? What did my hairline look like? And I was pleasantly surprised. I have to say, I actually looked pretty cool afterwards. And it's really grown on me having a bald head. So it was a very liberating experience. It was really healing in a way, because I donated the money to a dog rescue group and in the name of Sadie. So I think it kind of helped me a lot in the healing process with losing her. So I am bald and fabulous currently, although my hair has been growing like like crazy, like weeds. And right now it kind of looks like I look like a chia pet. So if you know what those are, yeah, it's like it's kind of in the process of sticking like straight up as it grows. So it's a little awkward right now, but thank God I'm not working. And when I do start work, it's going to be remote. So yeah, it's I'm looking a little funky, but it was awesome. And if you're a woman, if you ever considered rocking the buzz and donating your hair or just shaving it off, I would totally 100% recommend it. And I would do it all over again because it was very freeing. So I know no one really knows what I look like yet because I wear my little Darth Vader mask. But eventually I plan on showing my face. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, it looks pretty good. It was fun. So that's basically what my life has been consisting of, other than playing The Sims and dealing with the passing of my Sadie and just going to the supermarket. And I think they're opening up New York maybe in a couple weeks. I think like June 15th or something like that. So we'll see what happens. But I hope everyone is staying safe and healthy out there. If you are in another country or in another state and you're out of lockdown now, just be safe out there, be smart and mindful, wear your mask, wash your hands, and that's basically it. So as for the build, I really don't have too much to say about it. I'm pretty pleased with how it all came out. I'm digging the Southwestern vibes, and yeah, pretty much everything is just self-explanatory. I mean, I guess the one thing I do want to say is the bathroom here off to the side. I added that downstairs kind of like as like if you have a party or people are over and they're swimming, to use that as like a changing room, or like they want to take a shower after they swim. So that's why I connected it to the outside. So I kind of had that thought in my head. But yeah, so as for where the channel's gonna go with the speed builds, it's the reason why I started them was kind of just like trial and error, and as a way for you guys to get to know me. I know I don't have a lot of people who follow me, and probably half the people don't even listen this far in. But if you have been listening this far in, thank you so much. And I just wanted to use it as a way to communicate what I was doing in the future, a way to get to know the person that you're subscribed to. So it was basically the intent of doing the speed builds. But to be honest, I'm just not good at them. And yeah, I don't know. I really don't know what I'm going to do. But the stop motions are not going to stop, and my challenges, my occasional challenges. So I have a lot of stuff that I want to do. I literally have a list of Sims builds, and it's like 40 deep of things I want to do. So I'm going to get to it and start working on them, because I'm starting work, I think, around June 16th or June like 20th or something. So once I start work again, I'm not going to be able to build as much as I want to. So that's why doing stop motion 2 is good, because usually people who do stop motions, they post maybe once or twice a week. I'll, every night I'll get on The Sims and build for a little bit and then stop, and then, keep adding on to it and then post it. So, once I get in a schedule, I'll know better on what days I can post. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I think the next video, I'm actually going to make a video on how the process goes with me doing my stop motions. I know a few people asked, like, oh, this must be crazy, time consuming, how do you do this? And since a lot of people are curious, I will kind of give a little brief synopsis on how it all goes. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. If you're new, please like and subscribe and comment. It just shows me that people are interested in what I'm doing, and it kind of gives me more incentive to keep going, because sometimes if people aren't really liking what I'm doing, it's like, why even bother posting my stuff? Because I'm doing it to entertain people. And as of late with my last 2 videos, I really want to make people laugh, especially in a time like now where things are very stressful. I just want to get people to enjoy it and take their minds off life. So yeah, thanks so much, and we'll see you next time with another video. And yeah, stay I'm like getting all like tongue-tied. Stay healthy and safe out there, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.